This election has changed the world for the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender community.
Love this administration or hate it, this president is getting a lot done. If you believe in policy, if you believe in government that addresses problems, cheers to that.
After more than a decade of opposition and delay, we've passed inclusive hate crimes legislation to help protect our citizens from violence.
One of the concerns is making sure that the census form includes sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression.
There are some very unfortunate realities within the LGBT context for older adults. Lack of primary caregivers, lack of adult children.
Two transgender Seattle men say they're the victims of discrimination. They were kicked out of a downtown mall for allegedly using the wrong restroom.
I'm Barbara Bush, and I'm a New Yorker for marriage equality.
One of the things we can do to help the Supreme Court get there is to have the abundant evidence that we see from places like Massachusetts, Vermont, Iowa, Canada, South Africa, that ending marriage discrimination helps families and hurts no one.
The case for gay marriage is ultimately rooted in a rejection of common sense.
You are telling Iowans that some among you are second-class citizens who do not have the right to marry the person you love.
If in fact the homosexual couples have all of the rights that the heterosexual couples have, we're left with a word: marriage.
Not being able to regularize your immigration status, not being able to know if you can stay with your partner, and knowing that that's a price that you are paying for being gay.
It was horrible to have someone taken from you for no reason, because she wasn't living here legally.
Thousands turned out to protest the state's tough new immigration law.
The inclusion of LGBT families is a mainstream part of the comprehensive immigration reform that we need to see in this country.
Hundreds protesting a gay pride march set off battles with riot police throughout the Serbian capital, Belgrade.
Hillary Clinton has called for a full investigation into the murder of David Kato.
The IAAF demanded Semenya take a gender test amid fears she may not be able to run as a woman.
Last week, Argentina became the first Latin American nation to legalize gay marriage.
Why do you need to talk about gays and lesbians in anti-bullying efforts?
The fact is, and the data bears out, if you don't mention the specific problem, teachers don't act and students don't have a better experience.
Nearly 9 out of 10 lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender students were harassed in the past year because of who they are.
These kids needed us, and we have an obligation to change this. There are messages everywhere that validate this kind of bullying and taunting, and we have to make it stop.
This is not just about the gay kids in school, it's about everybody, because bullying does not exist without homophobia.
Give yourself a chance to see just how much better life will get.
This year, I will work with Congress and our military to finally repeal the law that denies gay Americans the right to serve the country they love because of who they are.
And we call for the end of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, not just for the gay soldiers, but for the sake of all Americans.
A policy that requires people to lie about themselves somehow seems to me fundamentally flawed.
It is my personal belief that allowing gays and lesbians to serve openly would be the right thing to do.
Don't ask, don't tell is wrong.
This vote is about whether we're going to continue telling people willing to die for our freedom that they need to lie in order to do so.
Military leaders tell me that don't ask, don't tell is working. I agree.
I think it's the right thing to do.
No longer will tens of thousands of Americans in uniform be asked to live a lie or look over their shoulder in order to serve the country that they love.